Well, Australians will soon need to register their drones if they want to continue flying them.
Yep, tech expert Djuro Sen believes recreational drone use is becoming too difficult for the general public, with professionals set to dominate the future of remotely piloted aircraft. And Djuro joins us. I want to ask him about drones in just a tick, but he's a Roosters supporter.
Roosters,
Hey,
Janie, hey.
And your fellow tech man, Steve Fennick, who's a South supporter, wants Luke Keary suspended like Sam Burgess. He's blowing up like a frog in a sock.
Steve, you're watching, I'm coming for you.
All right.
I didn't want to bag you on Facebook because I don't want to see a grown man cry.
All right, well, let's get to the drones. What's been your experience?
My experience has been a really good one, but for the general public, the rules are tightening up. So a lot of people are buying expensive drones and not being able to use them. Yes. Janie, you've had an experience with
Yeah, my boys have got one, great vision and everything, but before the licence came in, they did it in the right areas, great experience, hit a few trees, but now, obviously, the licence is going to cost them a couple of grand.
Yeah, it's difficult because you've got to try and get it. I mean, I'm going to show you some vision of what I've shot with some of these drones here, including this wonderful thing, the Mavic 2 Pro. And you know, what I've really enjoyed is our great landscape is just so beautiful in terms of shooting what's out there. And I think that the problem for us now is that the rules are so draconian, and for a good reason too, because there have been a lot of buffheads out there that have flown over events, flown in, and hurt people overseas. And that sort of stuff, to me, means that I think the authorities, CASA, are doing a good thing. They've consulted widely. This is what I shot with the Mavic Air. That's up at the Namoi River. That's supposed to be the Namoi River going to Keep It Dam. Look at the size of it. That was about a year and a half ago, and now that's almost gone. So it's a good way to document our country, Tim.
Yeah, it lends to that whole issue of how useful drones can be. And you mentioned that the rules are draconian. It's difficult, I suppose, to keep rules in track or on track with the technology and the way it moves as well. That's
right, because technology is moving so fast. I got to shoot this out at Coober Pedy with the large one I showed you, the Mavic 2 Pro. DJI makes them amazing. That's one of the Holden Utes. So that was a lot of fun. But the rules are there for a good reason. That's to protect people against idiots who don't know what they're doing near airports and near helicopter sites where, you know, the hospital is based. So there are good reasons for the rules, and CASA's really consulted widely on it, which is great.
But they're doing some really good things, though, with drones, aren't they? Really good.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one of the things I like about the Little Ripper drones, you might have seen the news about the shark spotting stuff. Well, now they're doing croc spotting as well. And I went up to the World Drone Congress in Brisbane during the week, Janie and Tim, and we saw some amazing stuff there. And, you know, what I like about the innovation happening here in Australia is Aussies are really pushing the envelope when it comes to the terms of using tech in the right way. And, you know, they've done some amazing stuff, and I think one of the best things about Australian genius when it comes to this technology is we're using it in the bush, you know, where it really matters. And, you know, look, this Little Ripper here, there's the croc. So this is a live shot from North Queensland. And they needed special AI using Amazon's back-end, their web servers and their analysis. In real time, it's sending the data of the vision up to the cloud to work out if it's a crocodile, and thereby telling people to move on and look out, because the crocs are very hard to see. That was based on the shark spotting technology. It used to be something like that big case. Now they've reduced it to the size of an iPad or something like that, so people can go out to the beach and feel safe. And this is going to be my story on later of the day on Sky News. They're collecting insects to work out here in WA how plants are suffering for the lack of insects that have been killed off by insecticide. So that's an Australian invention as well. So many good things happening in Australian business in terms of drones.
Yeah, that's a beauty, isn't it? Absolutely, and insightful. Let's get to television broadcast and sports coverage, because when you and I started, when TV was still in black and white, the dollies.
Yeah, Rank Arena.
Remember you'd put the camera on the dolly and you move it,
yeah.
and and it's used a lot in film and for a long, long time. But it's amazing how it gives it that magical look when you've got the moving camera. But now with the drones, like we're seeing it at the World Cup, we're seeing it in grand finals, we're seeing it at the cricket and other sports. It does add like the peloton moving in the Tour de France.
Yeah, it looks magnificent. You want a good screen to do it. So one of the things that's making a bit of comeback is the projector. So, you know, I've got one here on...
Like when your cousin had come back from Disneyland or something.
I'll lift this up. I'll leave it there, sorry. So that's a cheap one. It's not a 4K projector, that's by Epsom. They build it as a portable laser projector, so you can plug it in anywhere and it produces a nice image. You can put it in the kids' room or whatever. But what I saw during the week was a $20,000 laser TV. That was on that was in Dover Heights in Sydney, so there's a lot of bright sunlight coming through, and Hisense is selling that for $20,000. It needs a special screen there. I was watching a bit of Sky News.
Chris Kenny.
And it was booming. So see how bright it is out there? And then you can still see it. So they're building it like a TV. Many people use projectors only, and this special screen, you can see it rejects other light. So it only accepts the laser light that's coming up. And you do have to be careful about looking down because that's a laser. And it comes up and it looks pretty good. It does struggle a bit during the day, but if you want to watch the footy, the grand final at night, that thing is incredible. But it's $20,000.
You'd be almost feeling like you're on the bench when you're all riding the horse in the Everest.
Or you watch Japan beat Ireland again in the World Cup.
Speaking of Japan, what happened to you your trip last week? How'd it go?
Oh, it was fantastic. It's the greatest mix of great culture in Japan and the latest technology. And I had the fortune to become a ninja for an afternoon, and I got to do this. This is my very first road trip. Look at that. Hey? So I was training with some other kids, and then after your training, you go into a VR environment, and I got to take on all these creatures. Look at that sword technique.
How cool is that?
That's your job.
And it was a lot of fun. My wife did this as well, and she got the top score. So I'm a bit worried about how she handles the knife. Anyway, so she did a good job. So you can do all that sort of stuff in Japan, and only in Japan. It's unbelievable.
And you timed your trip so beautifully too, didn't you?
It's funny how that
happened to be the rugby. Are you going back in the next few weeks?
We might have to wait until after East the Roosters win the grand final. Yeah.
When they win. That's it.
Well, you've been a font of wonderful information. So tell us about the story this afternoon.
So what we're going to do is talk a bit more about the fact that these drones can be used as a career. So the Army are looking for people to join the armed forces to be drone pilots. So, you know, Janie, if the kids are thinking about other things like that, also gaming or racing. So that thing's worth millions, and they let me play with it, but they've got little tiny ones as well that they use on the battlefield to go inside buildings. Incredible. That feeds a live feed back to the troops. And these kids are fantastic. They're involved in World Championship racing, and racing for drones is the new big thing. It's going to be huge, and Australia's at the forefront. So these kids are fantastic, and they help build their own drones. So there's more than just flying around having fun. They've got to understand how to be the mechanic for their drones as well. So it's a lot of fun. And once again, Australian kids showing the way forward with technology. And based on the other business stuff we showed you, it's just really a good thing.
Yeah, my youngest would absolutely love that. Anything with an engine, anything with a propeller. He absolutely loves it.
Yeah, build his own drone.
Louis the Fly.